I just now, just hot off the presses, which had this happened earlier, this definitely would have been what I wrote my song about. My coffee maker errored out, and it's a fancy one I've had for, like 10 years, and it's got some strange error message and refused to brew a cup of coffee, which I was like, how it's no big deal, right? I've already had like 4 or 5 cups of coffee this morning or some insane amount. But I was so looking forward to having a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
To sip.
Yes. Yeah. I get it, because that's exactly what I did. I would be devastated if I didn't have to put my hand right now.
Well, I'm resilient, Hosanna. We can do hard things.
Right. Through Christ who strengthens us. Have you seen that tweet that was like, I don't think Christians should be allowed to be in the Olympics because they have, strength of Christ. So I don't think that's fair. Christ.
Well,
oh, man.
Welcome, Internet, to Gardening with Gary. Gary is not here.
Wow.
So you get, I don't know why. That's so stupid.
I honestly, maybe we'd get more viewers.
Maybe. We just tricked them. We rickroll.
Yeah, we tricked them into thinking this is a gardening video with Gary.
On today's
Ooh, wow, that was a good Gary voice.
We're going to talk about zinnias and the many problems presented by diatomaceous earth.
No, it's the pH in the soil. Everyone knows
that. The Declan Kitchener and Roger Heathers, the two hosts of the Weekly Song podcast, who, sad for us, Hosanna, I think they are maybe the loveliest people on the internet.
They really are.
We got to be a close second. But they have a bit they do every week called "What Are You Listening to, Ian?" And Ian, I don't know where that.
Ian.
Yeah, but it's kind of funny. It's very funny. It's very funny.
It's very funny.
And they talk about what they've been listening to each week. That's pretty cool. All right. Well, I'm Jeremy Herzer. This is They Can't All Be Bangers, a podcast where my illustrious podcasting partner and I try to write a song every week. And I'm joined by Hatori.
That's me.
She is a baller.
And try being the key word. We do try. By gosh darn, we do try.
By gosh darn.
By gosh darn.
To use the parlance of our times.
And yes, sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't, and we will let the audience be the judge of that.
No, we won't. We decide.
We won't. We won't actually listen to anything you say. Yeah. You got to help.
What was I gonna? I was something else hilarious.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, it's gone. You'll never know. Hatori, what you? Oh, I know what I was gonna say. My illustrious podcasting partner of so far fame.
Oh, so famous. So famous. Yeah, I haven't even done my first show yet, but I am.
But it's booked.
It's booked. I'm so excited about it. I'm also very nervous. But yeah, you know, the best way to deal with that is to ignore it.
Yeah. The nerves?
Oh, yeah.
Or the show?
Oh, but I mean, it's kind of the same thing at this point. Yeah, don't take advice from me.
How long is it? Or how?
It is a 20-minute set, so it's not long. It's
okay.
It's a 5-song set. Yeah.
Listen, you have 20 minutes of, I mean, it's any artist, right? The further you get into the catalog, the more questionable it is.
Right.
But your like best 20 minutes is top quality. That's a Wagyu.
Oh,
music. Like, I'm serious. I think they're in for 20 minutes of absolute magic.
Well, what if I pick the worst 5 one?
Well, don't do that.
No, the problem that I'm running into is like, how do I'm doing this on solo. Like, I don't have a bass, I don't have a drum or anything. This is going to be all me. So I'm trying to figure out how to do that.
Yeah.
Like, do I just go all in on the guitar or the piano, or do I just do looper? Like, do I switch between the two? Do I use a track? I don't think I'm gonna use a track.
Yeah. Is this like a house show, or
it's a house show, but I don't know what the venue is like, because it's technically a venue, I guess.
So you'd be at a restaurant or something?
I don't think it's a restaurant. Like, but it's called
abandoned warehouse
or a house. It's called a house. but it's also a venue. I'm confused by it.
It's like
So I don't know.
one of those weird law offices on Colfax. It's
Pro-
like used to be a house and now is
It's probably a basement.
a car.
It's probably just a basement, no windows, big old
No
lock.
joke. I used to live south of Sloan's Lake,
Oh,
and um, the neighborhood was, I'll just say, up and coming when I
mm,
was
yep.
there. We only had, I think there was only one shooting when I was there, and it was an accidental shooting. It was
Oh, that's
two
not bad.
guys were like horsing around with guns or something. They accidentally shot each other. So I don't know how that works, but there were a couple, I think there were two, like, I won't say brawls, but there were definitely like multiple people fighting in the street. Only happened a couple times. So that's the neighborhood that I
Yeah, that's kind
lived
of
in.
the neighborhood I'm in, except that people do get shot.
Well, I mean,
Well, no, okay. I
so,
did
yeah.
the other day. I was driving home from the store, and there's a park, and there was a crowd of children having a fist fight in the middle of the street, like full,
Whoa.
and like I couldn't pass them. So I was just stopped in front of a crowd of children beating the shit out of each other, and I didn't know what to do.
Yeah. What do you do? Because, like, I don't know,
I don't know. I was like, I'm not gonna call the cops. That's a bad idea here.
called the National Guard.
No, I'm not
We
doing
need a
that.
chopper.
I was like, hey, you little rascals,
Yeah.
stop that, cut it out. No, I was literally just stopped there for a full minute
Yeah.
until they finished their fight and I could drive past. It
I
was the
think
weirdest thing.
I think I would be nervous to intervene in that too, unless it was like, somebody's slamming somebody on the
Right,
ground or something.
right.
But like,
It wasn't quite like that.
yeah.
It was there.
Um,
So
well, so this one day I was walking to a brewery in the neighborhood I lived in, and I heard music, and I just saw some people, and I just went up. The door was open,
love that.
and it was a house show, and there were people playing. There was a band in the backyard. There
Huh.
was a dude with a guitar like in the upstairs area, and then there was a DJ in the basement.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
it wasn't like a nice house. It was
Huh.
a, a not nice, it wasn't gross or anything, but it was like just
Yeah, just yeah.
so you
House.
might be in the basement.
I
Hattori.
would not be opposed to that. I've
Yeah.
been in many a basement playing music. That sounds weird.
No,
So
sounds
I actually have. I have.
very
That's
on brand
a
for
lot
what
of
I think of you.
so
That's what I tell everybody.
much. She's the type of artist that you listen to in a stranger's basement.
So,
And your drink is laced with something.
that is so
Okay.
funny.
Mm.
Well, I'm really very excited for you. I'm
Yo.
proud of you is the wrong
Oh, I appreciate that.
but you know what I mean? Like I just applaud you because
Thank
I
you.
love
Very excited.
you're freaking going for it, and I love seeing the work that you put into this paying off.
Thank
So
you. I appreciate that very much.
awesome.
And you're playing a lot of gigs too. So you're
I'm winding down. I'm
really?
playing a weekly gig with Hatori on Zoom.
Hey, that's a good enough gig, I think. I think it's the best one
It's
out there.
pretty good.
be
I
honest.
mean,
Hay's the
pretty
best.
exclusive.
Yeah,
He's equal to what
exactly.
now I have one I have one songwriter showcase in December. It got moved to December. And then the new terminal opened up at Portland International Airport, and allegedly I am on the list to audition to be
Oh,
I mean, it's a volunteer thing, but I
that's
think it'd be fun
cool.
because you play for 3 hours. And so my thought is like
Long time. Wow.
getting my chops up. That's really what I'm interested
That's a
in. So,
really great way to do it.
yeah.
Wow.
And it's different, you're going to have people kind of cycling through, and most people are just ignoring you. But,
Yeah. Right.
yeah, I've got a couple friends who play there, and, yeah. So to me, it's not, I'm not really that interested in like developing a following. I guess that is cool that
Mhm.
to have your art exposed to more people, but it's more that I want to get just really comfortable with doing
That's kind
three.
of where I'm at too. Like
Yeah.
I really want to be proud of what I'm creating.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you.
Um, Hattori, how was your week of songwriting?
It was actually really interesting. Um, I had decided early on like what I was going to write about, and I actually
Okay.
had a bunch of lyrics again. Once again, it's
Right
because
on.
like, the time that I have with my day are just little like couple minute like segments. So I'll have a second to write down some stuff, and then I get, pulled in to wipe some butts and stuff. So,
can't relate, but
Yeah. It's hard. There was a lot of poop this week, that were not, poop that wasn't supposed to be where it was.
unscheduled poop. That's the word.
Unscheduled poop. And it was people poop and dog poop too. It was,
Ugh.
I don't know, so much poop. Anyway, so it was very fragmented, but like the idea was very fleshed out from the beginning. So have you seen the movie Banshees of Inisherin?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's one of my
Yeah.
favorite movies of all time. I think
Really?
I think it's masterful. Like,
Okay.
oh
I
my
liked it. That's
It,
a
it, I
high
think,
praise.
I don't know, I don't know what it is about it
Yeah.
specifically, but I think the whole story was so, I don't know, it moved me.
It is one of those movies I can see being someone's favorite.
Yeah,
That it makes sense to me, right?
right.
Versus like
And so
Fast and
it's a
Furious
strange one.
38 or whatever.
Right, right. Yeah, and I think I tend to be drawn towards like the uncomfortable ones where there's not really like a resolution, and it's not necessarily funny, and it's not completely dark, but it's
Yeah.
a weird mixture of both. I also just am a huge fan of Colin Farrell, so
Yeah.
anything that he's in, I'm like, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
But that movie has been haunting me since I watched it,
Mm.
and I love it. I love it. And so I just wanted to kind of explore that. And then for people that don't know what it's about, it's basically these two Irish dudes who are best buds, and then one day one of the dudes wakes up and says, I don't want to be his friend anymore.
Mm.
And
Biggest fear in life, actually.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like the whole concept is like amazing. But he just, and there's no explanation unless you watch the movie, and then you'll know. But,
Yeah. You find out it's a banshee.
you're right, and he
Then
turns into a
needs
yeah, it's
in the
crazy.
graveyard at night.
It's not that. This is actually just how to train.
Spoiler. Is it a spoiler to tell people what it's not about?
It depends on the movie.
I mean, yeah.
Anyway, I just have been obsessed with that.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it's I basically wrote a song from being, inspired by that movie. So,
Yeah. Love that.
yeah.
That's cool. I can't wait to hear it.
What about you? What was your week like?
I came up with an idea musically. It's interesting. An aside, maybe I think you and I've talked about this. I used to almost exclusively write lyrics first, and I haven't done that in a while. So yeah, I started with guitar, and I found something cool, and then I just started messing around with, vocal shapes, and I landed on a phrase that took me in a direction, and I finished it this morning. But I was pretty far down the path.
Yeah.
And it ended up being about, I'm going backpacking next week. So
Nice.
it kind of ended up being about that, or just my reflections on, yeah, it's a song. It's a technical song about best practices for backpacking. No, I'm kidding. It's
Sounds like a bop.
it's a bunch of ratios about how much water you should carry. No, it ended up being kind of about just a little bit of where I am, and but it kind of surprised me. But I also, like we've talked about, when you are at the end of the week, choices get made for you, and you just kind of roll with what it is. So It's one of those songs where I'm like, I think there's a gem of whatever quality buried here, kind of poking through the surface. So I think if I did some more excavating and came back to it, I would, I think there's something there. But I'm happy. I think it came together, and it was kind of a low stress. And initially when I was writing, I had all kinds of production ideas, and but I didn't have the song done.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So yeah, it was a good week.
Cool.
I did have a kind of a busy week. One, because we had early closure at work on Friday, which was great. But it means everything backs up a little bit. You know what I mean? Like you have more to get done to make sure you can do that. And then the trip next week. So I'm coming to your fair state, or this week. It's this week, today. And then, we had dinner. We had some people over to dinner at our new house for the first time last night. Now, We ate outside. I cooked all the food on the
Fair.
grill.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's an event. That is a milestone.
So we had some stuff to get ready for that, just because the house is all torn apart. But so it was a fun but busy week, and I feel there are weeks, I'm sure you have this too, where it just feels really good to like finish a song.
Yeah.
And not it feels good to finish a song as opposed to like, okay, I'm effing done with that. I'm so glad that's off my plate. I just actually felt good this morning finishing it. So
I love that.
Yeah, so it's cool.
Nice.
I think I went first last week.
I think you did. Yeah.
So I'll defer to you, my friend.
All right, let's do this. Again, host disabled participants.
Oh.
Sharing. I don't know why that's the default. No. We've talked about this. We know why it's the default. There are crazy people out there.
Who can share? I'm going to keep it at host only.
Okay.
I just have to guess what you're... No, I think you're good. I'm sorry.
No, okay.
I thought I had everything squared away.
I stayed up till 1:30 a.m. last night.
So did I. But I was doing karaoke.
Oh, that's way cooler. I was writing. Honestly, I was procrastinating. Like,
yeah. Effective though.
I mean, it worked. Like, kind of. Yeah.
You know, I read once. I never actually dug deep into this because I was kind of curious about the benefits of procrastination, because what happens is oftentimes people that procrastinate end up finding creative or much more efficient pathways to complete something.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, people get things done more efficiently.
Yeah. So if you, right. So if you start, let's say you have a week and you start your task and you just take it in little chunks and you do it throughout the week, you end up following whatever prescribed path is set out for you at the beginning, and you don't really have the opportunity to deviate. Does that make sense?
Right.
But if you wait to the end, you go like, oh, you know what?
I got to skip a few steps.
Yeah, actually, all that quality control is not needed. We don't need handrails on this.
Don't need them.
On this amusement park ride. It's got to be done. We got to have customers on it in the morning.
Efficiency. I love it. All right, let me do this. Share sound. Oh, good. I'm so good at Logic and Zoom. Oh my
Woo-wee.
Look at us. So cool. Okay. Here we go. So I actually did play guitar, but then I was like, I'm not gonna do one perfect take, so I chopped it up.
I like it.
That's how you do it. And I hope you can see the lyrics.
I can see it.
Great.
Fire it up.
Let's just jump right into it. Here we go. You're not the first to cut off your own limbs. Hard to believe, isn't it? Stories up by the skin of your teeth. You've got a good grip, but the face of defeat. You're a martyr, but not a believer. You pride yourself telling the truth, like it means nothing, nothing to you. You bide your time with ideas too big for skin, and it's eating you alive. You're a cutter, You're not the first. To try to make a name for yourself and to shrug off the dirt. Like the name of your father. Every man is a murderer if they just live long enough. Ooh, tell me what you're hiding in your hands behind your back. Some things can't be undone, some things can't be looked over. Some things are made to be broken, not made to last forever. And as much as we'd like to say otherwise, the dead don't come back to life. The dead don't come back to life. Some things can't be undone. Some things can't be looked over. Some things are made to be broken, not made to last forever. And as much as we'd like to say otherwise, the dead don't come back to life. The dead don't come back to life.
I like this one.
Thanks.
I like this one.
Sad. It's a sad one.
I'm here for it.
Cool.
Man, that's some great. I really like this, Hosanna. So, a couple of notes. One, generally, your voice is freaking beautiful, and I hear that every week when I hear one of your songs. But there are some songs that really like. I think it's just how sparse this all is, and your voice just freaking shines. Love this vocal performance. So thank you, because that was. It
I
just felt
appreciate
wholesome
that.
and beautiful. Yeah. Your guitar playing is good.
Oh,
And I was, to
thanks.
me, your guitar playing is getting better, is what it sounds like. But I don't know.
This was the first time I'd played in a while.
I thought it was great.
Thank you.
I liked it a lot.
I'm slowly better. Slowly.
Really fun chord changes. I love how simple
It's like
this all is. Yeah, I love it. I think it's great.
4 chords. Yeah.
It really and there's the mystery in the lyrics, right? So I think everything. It was a really cool kind of spatial sonic landscape, I guess, to just close my eyes and enjoy it and not try to parse it out and figure out if it's about me or not. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So I enjoyed that. That first, through your first verse there, you've got a good grip on the face of defeat. Is that the one that just kept going up?
10 stories up by the sky. Yeah, you got it.
I was hoping, but I was like, is she gonna trick us and go back down? And then it kept going up. I was like, yes. It was really satisfying. Love that. And then I really liked how you I was expecting, so like, as much as we'd like to say otherwise on the chorus, I was expecting much to hit on the one, but you as hits on the one, which I really love that, how you did that a bunch of times throughout, where you kind of push.
I did.
And it's
weird. It's kind of uncomfortable.
Right.
It definitely was like it. I don't know how many times I actually rephrased that.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
because I'm like, well, it doesn't feel right, but I don't think it's supposed to
It was
feel
perfect.
right, you
Yeah, it was
know?
perfect for this.
Oh,
And by
glad
the
that
end of it, you kind of
yeah.
want it. You kind of want it,
Uh-huh. At first
But
you're like, eh.
yeah, it's like,
Then
oh,
you're
that's an
like,
interesting
oh.
choice.
Yeah, right.
But
Yeah.
the whole package, like, I just think it was really fitting and really
Wow.
added, I think, to kind of the whole underlayment. So I have a broad thought or description here.
Yes.
This song makes me feel like I did when I heard Sullivan Street by Counting Crows.
Ooh.
So
I
do you know
actually
that song?
not off the top of my head. I might have heard it before.
So it has kind of this haunting melody.
Hmm.
It has this really earnest vocal performance. That's one of the things I love about Counting Crows generally. The lyrics are kind of vague but it's really evocative to me. And it was a time when I hear that song and at the time when I was first exposed to it, I felt hearing that song like, oh, music matters and
Mm.
music can make the world make sense. And I don't know how else to describe that, but like that song, and still kind of does, puts me in that space. And this was very reminiscent of that to me. Not to put too much importance on it, but it was like, it was, it just kind of spoke to something, I guess, ethereal and,
Yeah.
um,
I have songs like that too. Mine was Hide and Seek by Imogen Heap.
yes,
That
it's
one
definitely
like
in that. Yes.
hit me hard, and I didn't know why. It took me years to try to like figure it out, but it was just like
Yeah.
that
Well,
was a big one.
this felt to me that same kind of energy, that same kind of
Mhm.
like a vibe to me of like,
Cool.
this feels reminiscent and nostalgic to me, even though I'm just hearing it for the first time today.
That's
So
cool.
I commend you, my
Thank
friend. I
you.
love it.
Thank you. I was had I had more time, I would have like probably included a little bit of like a string little
Mm.
somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking for like just some ambient noise to like put on it as well to kind of make it
Yeah.
more lo-fi. I actually
Yeah.
tried recording the vocals on my iPhone because I wanted
Oh,
kind of a lo-fi feel, and it didn't sound like what I
yeah.
wanted it to. So I just
Yeah. I'd be
thought,
curious.
yeah, I think I
Uh,
could just use some effects and make it a little
yeah.
retro-y, you know?
Yeah. I mean, you could do all that. This version as it stands is wonderful, but I think that is the great thing about having a song that is production wise is very simple is
Hmm.
you have a lot of you put a lot of things on your palette and see,
Hmm.
because to your point, like some kind of droney thing in there.
Right?
You've done a good job with this on previous weeks where you've found a sound that's like, that's a little, it's not annoying, but it's a little bit like it creates this weird
Settling.
tension
Right. Yeah.
in a song. And like that, I think would
Mm.
work well in here. So
Very cool. Very cool.
amazing.
Thank you. I'm so
Yeah.
glad you like it.
Yeah. I love it.
Ah,
Uh,
it was, yeah, it was fun. It's, there's something about writing in response to a movie that's
yeah.
it feels more comfortable because it's
Yeah.
not, I don't have to dig that deep, but I can also like relate in a
Mhm.
way that I don't understand, and I'm not going to try to understand it. So,
Yeah.
you
I've
know,
never done that. I don't think, but that's a really interesting exercise because so you've sort of taken, I'm making this up, but as you look at the story of that movie, one, there's already an abstraction that happens because it's sort of filtered through how does that story land with you, right? It's not the pure,
no, yeah, it's
so
not,
anything, yeah, especially that kind of movie
yeah,
it's just sort of non-linear story.
exactly.
So there's an abstraction number one, and then you are sort of distilling it and poetifying it. So there's another abstraction.
Yes,
So it kind of becomes
exactly.
its own.
Layers, and it's evolved, I guess,
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think that's really cool. It's a
it's
good idea.
fun.
Yeah,
It's a really fun thing to do. So
I
you
love
should
it.
try it.
I'm glad I got to hear it.
But
Well,
I
yeah,
get to pick the movie. It's going to be Finding Nemo.
it's gonna be Nemo: Revenge of the Sith.
All right. I want to hear yours. Let's do this.
All right.
I'm excited.
Let's see if the host can share. I think the host can share. Okay. You can see this here screen.
See it, that here screen.
This here, I couldn't save it as I was complaining like a little crybaby when you joined the Zoom call. This song, I think I'm going to call it Change of Scenery. So,
Nice.
Yeah. I was trying to think if there's anything else to say, but okay, here we go. I think it's time for a change of scenery. I think it's time I walked away out into the woods, disappearing into the greenery. Ain't coming back till I'm okay. I'm burning now, life's taking everything I've given it. It's awful slow to pay me back, but I'm joining the birds out offering up their melodies. Got some baggage to unpack. Well, I need a break to crawl away and to let my soul gaze up to the stars. I'm on the trail in search of who I used to be. I'm out looking for my soul. I'm climbing down, spelunking into my history before my comfort took control. Oh. 20 more miles of wrestling with the altitude. 20 more miles of just my thoughts, fighting my lungs and forcing my legs to carry me, chasing a dream I've never caught. Yeah, well, I need a break to crawl away and to let my soul gaze up to the stars. I'm on the trail in search of who I used to be. I'm out looking for my soul, climbing down, spelunking into my history before my comfort took control. I'm setting out to rekindle the joy inside of me. I wanna burn with a sacred flame, to leave behind the warmth of familiarity into a wild that can't be tamed. Oh, can't be tamed.
Woo-hoo! Good Lord. Okay. So my first thought, right, is your voice is so good.
Thank you.
Like, okay, I mean, anytime
Thank you.
soul, every time that you saying I am looking for my soul, transcendent. That your voice is extra crunchy today.
Yeah, it was, I did karaoke 2 nights in a row. I had to cover for some people, and so it was dead in there 2 nights. So Jeremy got to sing like 20 songs each night.
Oh, I mean, it look at the results. It's incredible. I mean, you always sound so good. There is something, maybe it's just the guitar in your voice, so that it just like gives your voice so much. You have so much dynamic to your voice and like so many different like frequencies that are so nice, It's just that was just lovely. That was beautiful. And then I love the way that you started. I mean, the range is ridiculous. Like the vocal range, you start super low, super calm and sturdy, I guess. And the way that you just jump up there is freeing to listen to. It's like,
oh, that's awesome.
Whew, it's so good. I love it. It's just the delivery was just glorious. And it's a very, very relatable song. There was a bunch of lines and a little melodic choices that you made that were so nice. I'm trying to remember which parts it was. The birds, putting the birds out offering up their melodies for some reason, like scratched a part of my brain that was like, that was really nice. And the chorus just is so solid. Like it's singable. Well, for most people, like it's tricky, but it's very memorable and easy to follow in like the best way. And it just feels like a very what's the word? Oh, it's like hopeful, but like not in a very grounded way.
Not a hokey sort of.
Yeah, not hokey. It's very like it's very cool. Like I feel like it's a very motivating like song. Yeah, I love it. Very, very, very relatable too.
I really I didn't plan to write I mean, again, the backpacking trip was in my mind, and because I landed on Change of Scenery was the first. I just felt like that was gonna, and I didn't sit down and go like, I'm frustrated and I need to write about this. I just was like mumbling words, and it fit with what I was doing, what I had in mind for a melody. And that kind of took me down this path, and I thought, you know what, I could just write about the trip and kind of why I go on these trips and what I hope to get out of it, because it's not about backpacking. I guess it's more about journeying.
Right.
It is about backpacking for me, but it's more about kind of just tired of one of my coworkers recently was like, hey, I think you need a vacation. I was like, oh, that's not a good sign.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what? Screw you. I was like, yes, exactly. So it's just kind of been on my mind. Like, yeah, I think I've just had, it's all kind of piled up, and my joy is, been superficial, I guess.
Yep.
I thought initially I was like, there's no way I'm putting the word spelunking in the song.
I was just going to mention it. It's perfect. And the reason it's perfect is because there are certain words that I will forever associate with certain songs. Mariah Carey does this a lot. She uses some really interesting words in her songs. It's kind of bizarre. But I have never heard the word spelunking in a song before. And every time I hear it, I'm going to think of you. So it's a marketing technique. I think it's perfect. I can't believe that you made it work. It's incredible.
Hearing it back again. Well, yeah, I hearing it back again. I was like, oh, you know what?
It works.
It doesn't sound as stupid as I thought it did when I first wrote it. So
it's cool. I think it's brilliant to use unique words in your songs. Yeah.
There was one other thing I was thinking about this. Oh, I think this, because I was really on the fence about. I liked it musically, but I was just kind of, early on in a week when you're just messing around with ideas and you don't know what direction you're going to go. It was when I hit the rhyme of scenery and greenery. I thought, well, that's really, I was thinking if I submitted this song to Nashville songwriters, that's the first thing they're going to tell me to get rid of, like that rhyme.
Really?
Probably, because it's just.
I love it. I actually was going to mention, I was like, it's a very satisfying rhyme.
Oh, well, thank you.
I actually really like it.
I felt good about it because greenery, I was like, well, how do I, that's before I knew what I was going to write the song about.
Uh-huh.
And in greenery in my mind was like, snipping evergreen boughs to make a wreath. That's what I was thinking. I was like, well, how the hell is that going to fit in the song?
Right.
And I thought, oh, no, I'm going hiking. So
that's cool. That works.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I had a really good time with this. And I think, and I played it all together. So I had a condenser mic and my SM7. So it was all one take. I felt
I have to
pretty good about
say,
that too.
there is something about those one take things that just glues it all together so well.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, that's just, to be fair, that's because you're a good musician. It's because you can do the live version so well. A lot of people can't do that.
Thank you.
But
it doesn't always translate though.
That's true. That's true. Not always, but this time it worked.
It translated. Well, thank you. And I initially, when I first started tracking this, I do this a lot. I chunk up, so I'll have my guitar verse parts, and I'll quick swipe comp. I'll do a bunch of takes, and then I'll transition and do the intro, and then the chorus, and then I kind of piece it all together. But it just, we talked about this a month or so ago. It's like sometimes it loses the energy and the cohesion, and I felt like that was happening. So
absolutely.
So, well, thank you, Hosanna. I'm proud of this one, and I think it'll.
Good, you should be. Do you think you're going to play this one live?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Yeah, I don't think there's. This morning, as I was working on it, I was kind of just plugging I had some last minute lyric stuff to figure out, so I was just kind of just plugging in words, and I thought, I'll go back and polish this up. But hearing it again, I'm like, it's fine.
I think it's great.
I don't think there's anything in there that stood out to me that's like, well, that's stupid.
And to be fair, it's your voice that shines through this so well. And like the combination of the lyrics and your voice is just like transcendent. So I think that you should keep all of it.
Thank you. I will. If anybody tells me anything, any other feedback, if anybody tells me it's not a banger, I'm going to send them your
give him my email
number. Oh, it's email. That's better.
Yeah, he does.
I don't know how
it's already been leaked. Who cares, right?
Speaking of feedback, I don't know why this made me laugh. Last night, a friend of mine was at the bar playing pool, and he loves like Nickelback and
Creed.
Essence and Creed.
Yeah.
So I sang "Higher" by Creed.
Won't you take me?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is a really fun karaoke song.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I used to play that on repeat.
Yeah, it's a killer.
Love that song. Yeah, I was 12, to be fair, but like,
aren't we?
It was a banger.
Yeah. But one of the songs I wrote and sent to Nashville songwriters, which it sounds like I'm bagging on them. I'm not. Their focus is on writing commercially viable songs.
Right.
So I sent a song in for feedback, and they said you shouldn't, because what I did is the bridge. I repeated the bridge, but I repeated it an octave up and like with guitar solo, and so it was you know what I mean? Like to me, it made sense that there's this whole dynamic jump and the whole thing, and like, well, you shouldn't repeat a bridge. That's not typically something people do. And last night when I was singing that song, he repeats the bridge like 3 times.
Yeah.
I wish I'd have known at the time, because I could have responded like, ever heard of a little song called "Higher" by Creed? Don't repeat the bridge. Yeah, exactly.
That's amazing.
All right. I'm going to be in the woods next this coming weekend.
I'm going to see you in a couple of days.
Yeah, and we're going to play
an open mic. That's right.
Play the Roxy. And then people are going to weep. Nash,
they're going to worship us.
They're going to worship.
Whew,
finally.
I'm so for that.
Finally.
Finally, it's about time.
And then, so I guess we'll be off this week. And then are we back? We're back the following week, right? The week of the 13th. Weekend is.
Let me just make sure.
14th. Because I thought you might have something else. I couldn't remember if we had 2 weeks of cross
I think
plans.
Okay, so this Saturday is the show, my so far show. So it would be nice to have this week to practice.
Yeah, I love it.
Nice. And then the following week, I'm actually going to be out of town.
Okay.
I'll be in LA, but
That's right, with your Hollywood.
yeah, oh, my Hollywood friends, my fame.
Do you wear a
Um,
monocle when you're down there?
I do,
Yeah,
and I drink tea. Like,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I could probably still do something that week, but it would have to be the Sunday.
Enjoy.
Okay, cool.
Well, we can negotiate, but I think,
I think we're good.
yeah, we're good. And
Winging
this is
it.
song number 21
We're so good.
in 2024. Which is
That's pretty
blowing my
impressive.
mind. That's mind-blowing to me.
Hey, that's crazy. That's actually really crazy.
Yeah. It
Wow.
honestly, it when I think about it in those terms, because you and I have both had not a rough year, I don't think, right? But just we've had
Big.
a lot.
Yeah.
We've had a lot this year, and looking at a milestone like that and realizing like last year, I think I wrote 4 songs. I was trying to do the math last year.
Right. I was probably in the same ballpark.
Yeah, and that's probably what I would write this year.
Yeah.
Maybe I'd double that, but even then, like to say, oh, you're going to write 21. That was such an audacious goal for. I at the beginning of this year said I wanted to write 20 songs. I had no real confidence that I was going to do it.
Same.
Yeah.
I would have told you you're crazy.
Yeah.
You know, I have the time, and
Yeah.
I don't know how. It's crazy. It's amazing. This is like one of the best decisions I've ever made.
I agree. Yeah. I'm just every week, Hosanna, just grateful that I get to do this with you, and you're such a remarkable talent, and you're just a good person too, and you're funny. So don't let all this go to your head.
The feeling is mutual, but
Well,
tone it
yeah.
down a little bit.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Oh, so the guys from the weekly song podcast.
Yeah.
I heard that they invited you to their once a month
Yeah.
thing, right?
Yeah.
And you're gonna wait a little bit.
I'm gonna wait a little bit because when I get back from the trip, we have some eminent house stuff. I really, really want to be moved into that house before October. So that's
Absolutely.
kind of my next
That's a big
focus.
priority. Yeah.
But I don't know about you. This winter, I'm doing music.
Hell yes.
I'm doing music. I mean, it in the Northwest, by October it'll be gray, and it'll start raining, and it'll rain for 5 months. So to me, it's like, what better time to sit your ass down and actually, because the cool thing is, if you and I stay in our rhythm of writing, I have a big enough backlog that like it's time to actually look at releasing.
Yes.
I don't know how to release any music, so
I will send you everything you need to figure. Like, it's way easier than you'd think.
Okay.
Yeah. You absolutely have to release your music.
Well, I think it would be fun, and the first step, right, is to kind of knuckle down on some of the production stuff that I've done almost nothing with any of it. So
I know people. I know, producers, mixers,
I love it.
masters. Yeah. So, well, I think I will be. I mean, okay. So from what I understand, what they're doing, is that they're finishing a song, like they're only producing one song a month, right? I think I'm gonna try to do it, and I'll probably take one of the songs that I write with you.
Yeah.
And I'll just. I think that's like the next step that I need to take is that when I'm writing, I need to like skip all the whole demo stuff and just buckle down and produce it as I actually want it to. I just got to do it.
That's a good idea. I mean, I think because to your point, there's a lot of wasted motion. I feel like in creating a demo, like I can't remember the guy's name, Andy Grammer maybe, saying, "God, it just kills me to do a track twice." He goes, "I hate it." So that's why he's like, "I just don't. I just do it one time, and I as well as I can."
I watched something with it was Charlie Puth, and he's talking about Benny Blanco, who's one of the greatest songwriters.
Human names, or is this a Bluey?
You don't know Charlie Puth?
No,
that is crazy. You should look him up. I mean, he's it's all very, very pop mainstream.
Oh, well, yeah.
So that's probably why you haven't heard of them. But he's a huge mega songwriter. Okay. Like And then Benny Blanco has worked on literally every top in the last decade. Like it's crazy.
All right.
But they were saying like what they do is they get the exact sound from like they nail the sound, like fully production, like release ready sounds, and they build off of that. Because if the foundation of it isn't good, like you're gonna have to redo the whole thing anyway. And so I was like, that's a good point. Like if the very thing that you're building the song on isn't perfect, essentially, then you're wasting a lot of time. So
well, to that end, one thing I meant to tell you is my office is almost ready to move into at the new house, and I will have space. I'm going to build myself a vocal ISO booth. I'm going to frame it in. It's going to be off the ground, separate.
Oh, that's going to be so dope.
Insulation in there, rock wool insulation, the whole deal, and a door. And it's going to be big enough that I can actually get in there and play guitar as well. So, because it's my office and I can do what I want.
That's right.
I don't really have to ask anybody's permission.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm very.
Oh, it's going to be.
I know. I don't want to treat that as an excuse or like, oh, I don't have the environment or whatever, but it does show up in your vocals, like when you're using it.
You know what? It actually saves time. So if you can treat, because that's my next step is to fully treat this room.
Yeah.
You can treat your room properly. You don't have to spend all the time to fix those things to then have you can just literally record a vocal and then it's good to go. Like that's crazy. Yeah. It's time saving.
Yeah. I think that, and how much I use my acoustic, although something I'm aware of, like when I listen to even folk artists that I really like singer-songwriters, oftentimes you're hearing that beautiful rich acoustic in the intro or whatever, and then it's washed out on purpose, right? It's washed out throughout the rest of the song, and so I'm gonna have to get my mind around. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah. You have to have control over each piece. And the only way to really do that is to have a really clean signal. Because if you have all that background noise and stuff in it, or that buzz, that if you're layering plugins on top of that, it just gets crazy by the time you're on the fifth one, You
really want to compress all that that electronic interference so it really fits in the nice,
Exactly.
all that. So then you can reverb it too.
Then you got it. Put all the reverb that you can. That's what the pros do. They just do tons of reverb. That's a joke. If people are listening and don't do that. That's too much. All right.
I thoroughly enjoyed your song. Thoroughly enjoyed talking with you, Hatori.
I enjoyed yours as well, and the feeling is very mutual. I will see you in like 2 days.
Tuesday. Yeah.
Hey, have a very safe flight.
All right.
Yeah.
Talk to you soon, buddy.
All right. See you later.
Bye.